Greetings everyone. Thanks again, once again, for tuning in to Porch Talk. Today we're going to talk about young 19-year-old Kenneka who lost her life in Chicago at the Rosemont Hotel, where she was supposed to be partying with her friends, or who she thought she could trust. I believe her mom let her borrow her car, and she went on about her way, and she got considerably intoxicated and ended up in the freezer of the hotel. The tragedy about all of this is when the family came to the hotel and asked to see the surveillance, the staff of the hotel were giving them a hard time, some resistance, telling them to talk with the police and file a report. After the police got involved, then they went on ahead and showed the footage. The footage showed the young lady coming in the hotel, but it never showed her like leaving out. They were trying to find this body for hours, and when they did find the body, it was in the freezer of the hotel. This story really bothered me because I thought about back when I was younger, my parents, they were really tight about where we could go. I think I went to one house party as a kid, and they were very reluctant letting me go, and I could kind of see why. Hotel parties wasn't something we really did. I did happen to go to one kind of after prom, and then I had to go home, but it wasn't no spend a night and all of that. Looking at a situation like this, you can see why. I can't imagine as a mother myself this happening to any of my kids. The thing about it is, I just feel like this was no fault of this girl. I believe they supposedly raped her. I guess a young lady set her up for like $200. It was a situation going on where you could hear in the video she was screaming in the background. They kept turning the music up on her. A lot of this, the mother released a statement. She was talking about the police and her grievances with them. And a lot of this stuff is kind of sketchy. I don't know what's really going on. Without going in further, I'm gonna go ahead and let Kermit take over here and give his input on the situation.
This story here is so very tragic and so very unfortunate. Me having a 19-year-old little sister is just, it touches close to home, because this day and age, that's just something that they do. I know, like Raquel was saying, back then when we were younger, hotel parties weren't such a thing like that, but now this is just something that teens do all the time. You would hope that your children that are that age, your siblings and your family members, would be in safe hands, in safe company. If they are at hotel parties and at someone else's house and things like that. With this story itself, it's just kind of sketchy as to why it was just such a huge time frame to when this mom was apparently contacted, made aware of the fact that her daughter was missing from the party or from the hotel room. She came up there. Just the amount of time that it took for them to try to go to this room and say, okay, well, she's missing from this room. Well, where could she be? Time it took to go around, surveillance, to even have the mom. To me, that should have been something that the mom should have been able to look at, was surveillance footage. That should have been something that the mom could have been able to look at right away. That was just very sketchy that she couldn't at least view that. Also, I remember in the video, the mom saying that she was made aware that her daughter it was confirmed that she was dead at about 1 a.m. and she could not view her body. They didn't allow her to view her body until about 4 a.m. That was just, I mean, the time frame within that is weird and sketchy. The story itself is weird. They were saying that she was on their surveillance footage. She's clearly drunk. She couldn't even hold herself up.
Right, she was stumbling at the desk.
Yeah. And so to me, and what it sounds like, I don't know how the freezer was or what kind of make this freezer was, but it sounds like it was a freezer that it had to be pulled open. It was one of those big freezers that had to be pulled open. So I just don't see, she looks like a little thin girl, much less on being a very young girl. I don't see how she, being drunk and being weak, could have pulled that open, got herself into there. Am I saying that that's not possible? No, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying it just seems highly unlikely that would happen. It's just really a very sketchy story. One of the girls that was at the party supposedly also worked at the hotel as well. So that's quite weird, that time frame of everything and how everything was just set up. It just seems like the family, it took so long for the family to receive answers.
Right.
You know, so I don't know. I'm hoping that this family receives the answers that they deserve, because who knows, you know, whether this girl was set up by her friends or these men that were in the room. I don't know if it's really apparent or clear on who all was actually in the room either, because I don't think that has all come out with who was all in the room. But it's just, I'm hoping that this family gets the answers they deserve, because this is so sad and unfortunate.
I mean, there's so much going on in this story, and it's so unclear. You almost want to second guess yourself as to what even you read. From what my understanding, what I came across was the girl that worked at the hotel, I guess, which is her friend as well, drug her into the hallway and left her there. And the dude said, "We got this from there," and gave her $200. I think, first of all, no child, I don't care whether they're drunk, high, or what's going on, deserves this kind of treatment.
Absolutely not.
It just makes you think like you don't know. You think people are your friends, man, but they really do not be your friends. The thing is, at that young age, you're still in the clique mode. You're still in the hanging out mode. Some people, depending on how they feel about themselves or how secure they are, depends on how they function even. So in a group or clique or whatnot, you know, some people fall victim to peer pressure, some don't. And I don't know her case. I'm not saying she was at fault in any of this at all. I don't care what she did. She didn't deserve this. She's not at fault for this, clearly. There are some safe practices that could be done. I think it's very important that we tell our children, and it's unfortunate as this situation is, it even lets me see as a mother to tell my kids, keep your circle tight. I don't hang around with a lot of people. I just don't. I want my daughter to follow that same pattern. And the thing about it is, when you're going to a party, you're not at home, obviously they're not going to be drinking at home, because whose parents in their right minds are going to let them drink underage, let alone at age? You know, to me, I mean, the way I was raised, it's kind of disrespectful to be drinking at home. So I don't think you're just at home parlaying, drinking with your parents at the crib. I get that, but when you're somewhere and you're not in a safe place, it's just not a good idea to add anything that can alter your mind state and your ability to function and respond properly. Because people, they prey on that and they take advantage of it. These young men are stupid. Some of these young women are stupid.
And careless.
They're careless. They don't have the proper role models in their lives. And I'm not even going to blame it on the parents too, because again, I've said this before in other videos, that we're living in a society now, it takes two to make a home. So you're not home all the time to watch your kids, and then but at that time they know how to play nice to do what they want to do. So it's not always on the parents. Sometimes we harp on the parents, and we got to realize some people just are bad seeds. But that doesn't mean that you take your hands off the wheel and don't drive the vehicle at all. But it does mean it's not all on the parent. You got to do the best you can, and there's no manual on how to raise a child, but you do the very best that you can and pray for the best. And in this case, it was just really despicable for a child to lose her life. And think about her last few moments. I mean, she's unable to function as properly, respond. Her mental status is probably altered. You have to be that intoxicated. Think about her being in that freezer. What were those last moments like? These people at the hotel playing around. I need to see my daughter. There's so many people so careless. They don't take anything serious anymore. Everybody's so numb to possibilities of a crisis. And what if it was your child? So I just wanted to address this before I end, and I'm gonna let Kermit speak if he wants to continue. I just want to say, parents, it's imperative that we tell our children to be careful who they're hanging around. I understand that your peers might be drinking, but it doesn't make you uncool not to engage. It makes you smart, because at the end of the day, people could be saints, but you don't know that emphatically, and you're taking a chance and putting yourself at risk when you mess with your mind state, adding intoxicants. So we don't want to do that. We need to tell our children about the potential dangers of house parties, the potential dangers of hotel parties, and really reason with them and give them reasoning instead of, oh, you don't want to do the finger ragging and the deep voice and the shouting and yelling and cussing. It's effective ways to communicate, because at that age they're not little anymore. They begin to realize you have less and less control over them. So you got to learn how to effectively communicate with a young adult. You have to learn that, because that's what she was, a young adult. 18 makes you an adult. By definition, she was 19. She's a young adult. So I just wanted to put that in, let you guys hear my side and impart that into you. And anything else before we go?
I definitely do agree that our society is so numb to so many things. You would think that this is something that would be, if a mom comes in a hotel and says, the receptionist, oh my God, my child is missing and blah blah blah, you would think that someone would be right on it. But I just think in this day and age that everyone just gets so used to their regular programming that no one just jumps up and falls in line, and that's unfortunate. I also agree with what Raquel was saying with we have to be more in tune to our children, youth, and definitely communicate with them when they're young adults at 18 and 19 years old, to communicate with them and let them know, let this story be an example that everyone that you think is your friend, and just because someone comes and because they hang around your friends and you feel like your friends may know them and they know them from their neighborhood and all of that, that doesn't mean that they're your friends. It doesn't mean anything. You have to let them know that they have to be aware of dangerous people and people that are out to harm them. They don't need a reason. They don't have emotion to do it. People will harm you just because. I think that's something that has to be stressed to our youth, for them to always keep their head on.
Yeah, because people hold hatred in their hearts. For whatever reason, a person can secretly dislike you, and you'll never know. Depending on how fake and phony they are, and that exists. People have all type of issues, man. So we just have to be aware of that.
Absolutely.
But coming to an end, I want to thank you guys once again for tuning in to Porch Talk. Make sure you like, tag a friend, and share this video. Comment down below, because if you don't, I can't know what you like, what you want to hear, how you feel. Make sure you hit that red button and subscribe. That's very important. And also, so you make sure that you get notified, there's like a bell that you should turn on, the alert, because sometimes even with the subscribing, you don't know that I'm doing the video. So make sure you do that as well. You can catch me on Facebook at Love Ebony, Instagram Rocky Road Productions LLC Porch Talk. You can always catch me here, and you can catch Kermit at
on Facebook at KermitBishop.com, and on Instagram at _SimplyKJ.
Thanks again, everybody. See you next time. Bye.